Plymouth remain leaders over in League One, of course, after maintaining the top of the league status this past weekend. But what's going to go on this weekend? Can the Green Army still be number one? We're going to take a look at that and more next. That's right, folks. Babble's getting a prediction video today. We look forward to League One action, of course, and it is match day number, I don't even know what it is anymore. It is match number 15, of course, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe button and bang it. All things Rovers related, League One related, Blackburn, Buffalo, World Cup related. We're going to all here, boys. Under one roofski, of course. Can the Green Army Plymouth remain top of the table? They are 1 point clear over Ipswich, heading into match number 15, but of course, with the likes of Sheffield Wednesday, Peterborough, and Portsmouth already competing for their players. So take a look at all of it in a second. Of course, people shout to my VIPs. They are the pigeons, you know who you are. But anyway, let's get cracking and have a look at how we all got on last weekend. Of course, there were some games this midweek, which of course affected both the top and the bottom of the table, and we will cover them briefly. But of course, let's take a look at the weekend's action, which of course has already done and dusted. Bristol Rovers against Cambridge, 2-1 win for Bristol Rovers. Big win for them as they climb the table. I went with a draw. Derby County did lose to Port Vale, 2-1 loss. I went with a win for the hosts, but got that one wrong. Barnsley also lost to Exeter City, 2-0 loss there. I went with a win. Morecambe as well lost to Ipswich, 2-1 of course for them on the road. Big monster win. I went there also. So far I did shite. Meanwhile, the Vegans, they did beat Bolton Wanderers, 1-0 win. I went the other way. Lincoln with a 2-1 win. That was my pick. 0-0 of course it was. Oxford lost. Again, this is terrible by me. Wimbledon with the one. Wycombe with the 1-0 win of Oxford. I went the other way. Peterborough can only draw with Burton. 3-1 win for me. Alas, I got one right. Or sort of right. Plymouth with a 3-0 win of Accrington. 2-1 win for me. Pompey with a draw against Fleetwood Town. Pompey with a 3-0 win in my eyes. The Wednesday 3-0 win over Cheltenham. Of course, I went with a 2-1 win. And then, of course, Shrewsbury with a 2-1 win over MK. So I got two. Absolutely shite. Forget about it. Delete it. Meanwhile, of course, midweek games. Charlton with a 4-2 win over Exeter. Peterborough with a 4-1 win over the Vegans. And MK Dons did lose to Bristol Rovers to give us this league table. Of course, this is what it looks like. Plymouth Argyle lead the charge. Ipswich are in second. And then Sheffield Wednesday, Peterborough, Portsmouth, and Barnsley in the mix. Bolton are up there as well, as are Exeter and Shrewsbury doing the mix as well. Burton, Morecambe, MK Dons, and the Vegans are going down. Oxford are in trouble. Carl Robinson could be on. Look at some big names down here. Oxford, Wycombe. Who else is down here that you wouldn't imagine? Of course, I think that's pretty much it. MK Dons as well. Monster stuff that. Anyways, take a look at, of course, the leaderboard. Texas Hold'em Questions is up there with 6 out of 12. Frosty up there with Ultra joining him in the bronze medal. Of course, they can share the medals between them at the moment. But of course, this is the overall leaderboard. And Shane O'Donnell, 62 points, 3 points clear over Jimmy Warren and Vinny Hong in the lead. The race for the leaders. Texas Hold'em Questions and Frosty and Riley Turton up there in the top 5. It is, of course, getting spicy there, but of course, it keeps on going. Cutley/League One. It is your league. Getting amongst it. But of course, we are looking forward to these games, of course, that are coming at you this coming weekend. So let's get the deep end and have a little look at it then, shall we? Of course, kicking it all off with Accrington Stanley up against Derby. Of course, now these two sides have played each other just the one time since 2019. One for Derby, nothing for Accrington, and of course, 0 draws. Stanley, though, 50% form, 1-3, and lost 3 over the last 6. Derby County, though, 32% form for them. Of course, just 2 wins of the last 6. Paul Warren is in a bit of a rough patch already. Last time around, over in Stanley, it was a 1-0 win for Derby back in January 2019. It was in the FA Cup. Derby with a 2-1 loss against Port Vale. Accrington with a 3-0 loss against Plymouth Argyle. But this game is at over and Stanley. 2-1. 2-1 is the odds there. 13-10 is your way. 5-2 is your draw. I'm back in Stanley here to get a win, which will put Paul Warren under a bit of pressure. And he's only just got the job. Oh, my days. Meanwhile, Bolton Wanderers up against Barnsley, of course. The Battle of the Bees played each other according to my eyes 21 times in 1993, 8 wins to Bolton, 3 wins to Barnsley, and 10 draws, of course. Bolton, though, 50% form, 1-3, and lost 3 over the last 6 up against the Barnsley side, winning 5 of the last 6. Michael Duffy's boys looking real deal right now. 83% form for them heading into this. Last time around, though, over in Bolton, it was a 3-1 win for Bolton. That was in the league back in December 2017. I was in the Championship, of course. Bolton unbeaten against Barnsley over the last 6, picking up 5 wins and a draw. Barnsley with a 4-2 win over Doncaster over at the Keep Moat. That was in the Football League Trophy. Bolton with a 1-0 loss against the Vegans. Of course, that was on the 8th of October. The odds here, though, is 23-20 is your host, 23-10 is your 5-2 is the away win here. Back in, of course, a draw here, point apiece, and I think Barnsley will be happy with that. Bolton, not really. And of course, they go again. Burton Albion up against Morecambe, of course, in a bit of a relegation crunch. In fact, it's bottom versus second from bottom over at the Pirelli Stadium. Played each other 24 times in 2003. 10 wins to Burton, 12 wins to Morecambe, and we've got 2 draws, of course. Burton, though, 58% form, 1 win and 4 up against the Morecambe side without a win in 3. 33% form up against 58% form of Burton. Meanwhile, last time around, over in Burton was a 3-2 win for the host. host. That was back in October 2021. Burton with a 1-1 draw against Peterborough. Morecambe with a 2-1 loss against Ipswich Town. The odds here for this game. We have Burton now been coming out at 11-8 on for the victory. 13-5 is draw. 4-1 is your away win. Of course, Morecambe are rooted at the moment, but they need something. I'm going to give them a 0-0 draw here. Again, it'll be a point in the bag, but not really much. This is a must-win game for both of the sides to get themselves reignited back into the season. Meanwhile, Cambridge up against Sheffield Wednesday over in Cambridge now. Played each other 3 times in 2016, 1 win apiece and 1 draw. Cambridge, though, without a win 3, 33% form for them. Up against the Wednesday side, 1 defeat past 4 for them, 58% form over the last 6. Last round, though, over in Cambridge, it was a 1-1 draw back in October 2021. Cambridge with a 2-1 loss against Bristol Rovers midweek, or actually that on the weekend. Meanwhile, Wednesday with a 3-1 over Cheltenham, of course, last weekend as well. Look at the odds right here right now. Cambridge 4-1 for the victory, 10-7 on is your Wednesday, 40-5 is the draw here. Back in Wednesday with a 2-1 win for them. That should put them up to 29 points and maybe within touching distance of the top 2. Cheltenham against Bristol Rovers, of course, mid-table crunch clash, you would imagine, on this one. Played 22 times, done 3, 8 was to Cheltenham, 9 was to Bristol Rovers, and we got 5 draws, of course. Cheltenham winning 4 of the last 6, 67% form for them. Up against the Bristol Rovers side, unbeaten in the last 4, 58% form for Joey Barton's boys. Last time around, though, over in Cheltenham, it was a 2 actually in the league. I've got to go back a bit. It was a 0-0 draw for back in November 2013. That was in League 2. It's been a long time since these two sides have played each other in the league. Of course, Bristol Rovers with their win over MK Dons. Cheltenham with a 3-0 loss against Wednesday last weekend. The odds right here right now, we've got Cheltenham 5-4 for the victory, 21-10 is Bristol Rovers, 5-2 is the draw. Back in Cheltenham with a 2-1 win. Bristol Rovers taking the L on this one. High flying Exeter up against Oxford United, of course. Coming in actually this weekend, played to the 19 times, turned 2, 6 wins apiece and 7 draws. Exeter, though, just 1 defeat past 5, 58% form for them. Up against the Oxford side without a win in 5, 25% form for Carl Robinson's boys, who, of course, need a response and response fast. Last time around over at in the league, it was a 4-1 win for Oxford. That was back in February 2016. Meanwhile, Oxford with a 1-0 loss against Wycombe, Exeter with a 4-2 loss against Charlton at the Vale. The odds right here right now, we've got Exeter 5-4 for the victory, 11-5 is your win, and 12-5 is the draw. Got with a 1-0 win for Exeter. Oxford are taking a bit of a brunt of it this season, and of course could be forced to make a change in the managerial department, which of course they've never done so in a few years' time. Fleetwood Town up against Shrewsbury, of course, played 17 times, done 15, 8 wins for Fleetwood, 3 for Shrewsbury, 6 draws, of course. Fleetwood, though, we're looking at 50% form, 1-2 lost 2 and drawn 2 over the last 6. Shrewsbury, of course, 50% form for them, 1-3 and lost 3 over the last 6 as they head into the match, of course. Last round in Fleetwood was a 3-0 win for Shrewsbury back in December 2021. That was actually on Boxing Day. The home side's only won once in the last 6. That's when Fleetwood beat Shrewsbury at Fleetwood back in October 2020. Shrewsbury with a 2-1 win over MK Dons. Fleetwood with a draw against Pompey over at Fratton Park. The odds here, Fleetwood 7-5 for the victory, 210 is your away, and of course 11-5 is the draw. Tight, airtight. Getting with a 1-1 draw, and again Shrewsbury are happy with that. Another point in the bag, closer to the playoffs. There you go. Meanwhile, Ipswich Town against Lincoln City, of course, over at Portman Road. Played each other 10 times, 2017, 4 for Ipswich, 3 for Lincoln, 3 draws, of course. Ipswich, though, just 1 defeat past 6, 75% form for them. Up against the Lincoln side, of course, without a win in 3 now, 42% form for them heading into this last round. Over at Ipswich, was a 2-0 win for the hosts. That was back in March 2022. They were unbeaten over the last 3 games against Lincoln, winning a couple and losing just the once. In fact, they just lost once in the last 5 against Lincoln. Lincoln, though, with a 0-0 draw, Charlton, of course, back-to-back games now without a goal for them. Ipswich with a 2-1 win over Morecambe, of course. The odds here for this game, 11-4 on is your Ipswich, 12-15-4 is your draw, 8-1 is your away win here. Lincoln City, 3-1 win for them, 3 points in the bag. They could even go top of the pops, because next up is MK Dons against Plymouth. That's right, over at the Stadium of MK. Played each other 9 times, 2011, 3 wins at MK, 4 for Plymouth, and 2 draw scores. MK Dons, though, 33% for them without a win. Actually, just 2 wins the last 6. Plymouth, though, winning 5 of them out, 7 lost in the last 11 games, 92% form for Stephen Schumacher's boys. Last time around, though, over at MK Dons, it was a 1-1 draw. That was back in December 2021. Was that the playoffs? No, it wasn't. 1-1 it was. Meanwhile, Plymouth with a 3-0 win over Stanley. Of course, MK Dons with a 1-0 loss against Bristol Rovers. Liam Manning's boys are in trouble. 11-5 is your MK Dons, 5-2 draw, 6-5 is your away win. Back in, of course, the Green Army here with a 2-1 win for them, and again, maintaining the top of the league status. Port Vale up against the Vegans, of course, coming at Vale Park this coming weekend. Played 11 times in 2012. We've got 4 wins for Vale, of course, 2 wins for Vegans, and 5 draws, of course. Port Vale, though, 58% form for them, just a couple of defeats in the last 6. Meanwhile, Forest Green, 2 wins the last 6, 38% form for them heading into this match. Last time around, though, at Vale Park, it was a 1-1 draw back in February 2022. That was in League 2. Vale unbeaten against Forest Green over the last 6, pick up 3 wins and 3 draws. They also come to on the back of the 2-1 win over Derby. The Vegans with the 4-1 loss against Port Bloody Vale. That was midweek. midweek. Of course, the odds here we have Port Vale 6-5 on, 13-5 is the draw, 10-3 is your away win. Of course, back in Port Vale to get a draw here. 0-0 in the end. The Vegans will consider that a point in the bag. Into the final two is Wycombe Wanderers up against Peterborough. Of course, coming at you over at Adams Park. Played the 14 times, done 3, 4 wins for Wycombe, 5 wins for Peterborough, 5 draws, of course. Wycombe, though, 2 wins of the last 6, 33% form for them right now. Peterborough, though, unbeaten the last 5, 75% form for them, winning 4 of the last 5. Of course, last time around, though, over at Wycombe was a 3-3 draw back in October 2019. That was in League One. Peterborough with a 4-1 win over the Vegans. Wycombe with a 1-win over Oxford, of course. But coming at you, the odds here. We got Wycombe at 50-8 for the victory, 5-2 is draw, 7-5 is your away. But this is another tough game to call. I'm going with the 2-1 win for Wycombe, who need the result, and that could actually push them up to top 10 in the table. And then wrap it up is, of course, Charlton. Is, of course, Portsmouth on Monday night. Bit of a weird one, this one. Of course, over at the Valley, played 31 times in 1983, 19 wins for Charlton, 8 wins for Pompey, and we've got 4 draws, of course. Charlton, though, just 1 win to 6, 42% form for them right now, just 1 defeat past 4, if you want to look at it a different way. Pompey, though, just 1 win to 4, also 67% form over the last 6, also 1 defeat past 6, if you want to look at it that way. Last round, though, over at Charlton was a 2-2 draw back in September 2021. The home side only won 1 to the last 6, that's when Charlton beat Pompey and Charlton back in March 2019. Pompey with a draw against Fleetwood, Charlton with a 4-2 win over Exeter. The odds here, though, 8-5 is Charlton, 17-10 is your Pompey, 12-5 is your draw. Back in Pompey on the road here, 2-0 win for them on the Monday Night Football, 3 points in the bag. That could actually put them back in the mix for at least top 4. We'll see about that. That's my take, and if I'm right, this is what the table will look like. It'll be Plymouth at the top of the table, Ipswich in 2nd, Wednesday 3rd, Pompey up to 4th, Peterborough 5th, Exeter into the top 6 we go. Morecambe, Burton, MK and Oxford going down. The Vegans movers up to 20th spot. But that is it, guys. Make sure you get your own picks in. Of course, use the link right here, cut League One. And of course, we'll be back for the next round of games, which of course will be next weekend as well. But until then, guys and girls, smash your subscribe, smash your thumbs up, smash the little bell. We'll be back, of course, for more action. But until then, be safe out there. And of course, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you soon for the next one.